Hi there, and thanks for joining me once again. So today another one of our little Matchbox Classics bite-sized videos, and today it's the SAAB VIGGEN, Sweden's all-weather interceptor, strike fighter, bomber, does all sorts of things. Now this one, I've got to be honest, I struggled to get this. There don't seem to be many of these around that are in anything like decent condition, and this is in decent condition, but it's not quite as mint as some of the kits that I've previously shown you in terms of the box standard. So it's a little bit of excuse me, it's a little bit bashed, a little bit warped in places, and a little tear here and there. But I liked it because it had a nice, the colouring was good and still looked original on the front, apart from a slight staining. But anyway, so this is PK-119. Typically on the side it's got adverts for the Mosquito, the Messerschmitt 110 and the Hunter. Are also available in the same range. On the top, as ever, we get a representation of what it will look like if you build it without painting. No painting is necessary. And then on the back, quite a nice artwork, I've got to say. They pushed the boat out a bit more with this one. So what you can see, they've got the full sort of scatter pattern that the Swedish Air Force are well known for. It's got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 colours. There's 3 different greens and a kind of a yellow, making up their classic sort of forest scatter pattern, which their SAABs were pretty much all painted in. And it's Swedish Air Force Base 15th Fighter Wing AF Söderhamn in 1976. So there we go. That's really quite impressive, actually. It's got the classic, the box is in good shape on the back. It's got the classic window, which is in good condition. And what year are we talking about here? So this is 1976. So that was bang up to date at the time. So let's have a look. So it's an original that I've got here, but I say there is a bit of a tear here, as you can see on the box, unfortunately. But beggars can't be choosers, which is a very old thing. Let's pop that there for a second. The good news is we've got a proper orange instruction leaflet, which is what it should be. We've got a stand, which is in great shape, no problems with that. We've even got our canopy still on the sprue, and that has to be said, it's a very rudimentary canopy, this. The actual part of the canopy that is the windscreen and the main are all one, apart from a little very, very faint line to denote which is which. I don't know if you can see this. You can just about make it out, can't you? But it's got a separator line, but there's not really any proper frame, so that's a little bit disappointing. Anyway, let's have a look at the kit properly. Again, 3 sprues, 3 colours, as we've come to expect with the orange range from Matchbox. We've got our instructions. Let's have a look. Whoa, and there go the decals. Let's look at them. Do you know what? They look really nice. Look at these. That's yeah, 46 years old. Sorry, 44 years old, isn't it? 44 years old. Not bad. They look alright, actually. And again, you've got your little label at the bottom, which you can actually put on the stand, which would be absolutely fine. I reckon that they'll come off there, no problem at all. You can always tell with Matchbox, unless they're really badly damaged, they work reasonably effectively. It says that been in service with the Swedish Air Force since 1972, can take off from short roads of just 500 metres, which means it can operate from secondary airfields, forest clearings, motorways and short roaded areas. Well, there you go. On the back we've got this very nice, again they've made a real effort with this, very nice artwork where they're showing the whole aircraft with its missiles. I think it's got a couple of drop tanks, a couple of missiles, air-to-air missiles. Shows you here how to do your colour painting for your small parts as usual. So we've got the seat, the pilot, the jet nozzle at the back, and that's also part of the jet nozzle, I think, the back of the engine. Part number, doesn't matter, very clear. And then you've got your wheels and tyres, your gear, nose gear, main gear, missiles, and then parts of the jet exhaust at the back, and your canopy, and then your, it's a missile, isn't it? It's not a tank. That's a tank. That's a missile. So there's a couple of different types of missile here. Let's hope it tells us what they are. And it gives instructions for water slide decals. Okay. or water slide transfers, as it says. You've got your colour callouts in Humbrol here, and then we get into the main instructions. So, bring in a bit. Bear with me. There we go. So first of all, typical thing with Matchbox, pilot, bums on seats, looks quite a relatively sophisticated looking seat he's sitting in compared to most anyway. And then you've got your it's a thrust reverser bucket, the part I couldn't remember, that's what it is at the back. Thrust reverser at the back of the engine, they go in and your engine sort of afterburner ring goes in, put your pilot in and clamp your fuselage halves together. Then you build in the back end, basically the nose section and the intakes, and they all go in with the nose like so. Then you bring in your wings on and your canards at the front. Don't forget this is a Delta Wing aircraft with canards, one of the first ever actually. And then you've got your main gear assembly, and then you start with your two different types of missiles. It doesn't seem to name them, but anyway. You've got one that looks like Fireball XL5 and one that looks like American Phoenix actually, or similar. The XL5 one being the one on the extreme right, section 10. And then you're putting in your gear, and then finally put your weapons on. Quite a lot of parts actually for this type of kit, which is good. So what have we got? We've got sprue in, I'm going to say black, it's more of a charcoal actually, if we're honest, like a charcoaly colour. So we've got this sort of double-sided tail design again, so that you have the tail on, just on one side, but that's two sides to it, two faces to it. And you've got your engine intake, this is where your reverse thrusters blast out of, so this gap here. Then you've got your intakes and your underside here. All fairly straightforward, looks very nice actually. It's a really meaty aircraft, the VIGGEN, isn't it? It's got that big tail, no messing. It's a great noise when it takes off as well. Then we have this sort of creamy coloured plastic for the wings and the tail, canards I should say. I was going to say tail planes, but of course they're at the front. Also got gear doors here as well, and true to form, it's very, very sharp. Well, it's not sharp as in very crisp and fine lining, it's quite shallow, but it's done very, very precisely. There's no flash, or there's no, blemishes or faults in it really that I can see. Just an odd scratch on the surface, but it looks really nice. No minimal cleanup required, again, very, very impressive. Okay, and then finally we have got the sprue with, made in England again. It's very rare you see that these days. Here's the sort of Fireball XL5 style rockets I mentioned. Quite sophisticated looking, I think it's an anti-ship missile actually. I think I do know what it is, but I can't remember the name of it. It is a Swedish one. Here's your reverse thrust reverser buckets that I spoke of. And this rather unusual sort of cone, tail cone here. And then you've got your fins for your missiles here, your wheels here, you've got your nose cone there, and there's your air-to-air missiles. And then on this side you've also got these, mentioned there were some drop tanks there, and various rails, your gear legs, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it looks pretty nice, and again I think I mentioned this in one of the other reviews. When you look closely at the actual sprue, one of the things you notice is the fineness of the gate attachment points, and this is great because they're so fine. The vast majority of them are really fine, and that makes it really easy to clean it up. You've only got a little tiny area to sort out, and in some cases with a single-sided sprue nipper you may not need to clean it up at all, it might come out absolutely perfect. So anyway, there we go, so that's the SAAB VIGGEN from Matchbox, and as I said, it's PK-119. A really nice little model, to be fair. Can well imagine building that. It's like a dodgy box. Well, imagine building that though. Really nice kit, to be honest. And yeah, you know, what's not to like? It's the same story. They're always good, aren't they? They're just good kits. They're not the best detailed, you know, that's true, but very competent little model. If you paint it well, it'll still look nice. In that scale, it'll be fine. Just got to be a bit careful. You're going to need to do a bit of detail work on that canopy frame, because you can't leave it clear. That'll look really silly. But apart from that, you know, I give that sort of an 8 out of 10, I think. Brilliant. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell for more videos coming up soon of a similar nature, I'm sure. And in the meantime, until I see you again, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again very, very soon. In the meantime, thanks a lot and bye for now.